Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Malala, I want to start with you. You're visiting Syrian refugees in Jordan. How has your visit been going today?
Well, today I visited the camp of the Syrian refugees and I saw so many children. And I also went to the Jordanian-Syrian border and I also saw so many women. They are now homeless, so many children, they can't go to school, they cannot get education. And here I discovered another thing, and that is that those boys who are here as Syrian refugees, they are doing child labor and because they want to earn money and their families are poor. So it's also the thing that we all should focus on, because we do not want to lose this generation, because this is very important. And to see a bright future, it is necessary that we protect every person in this world, and people should not ignore them. People should focus on their bright future, because their bright future means our bright future and the future of the whole world.
Shiza, how will the Malala Fund be involved in trying to help these Syrian refugees, specifically the children?
Well, we're starting now by really trying to bring attention to the fact that this is a huge crisis and a global responsibility. Every day you have hundreds of refugees crossing the border into Jordan, into Lebanon, into Turkey, into Iraq, and many more displaced inside Syria, and children are out of school and traumatized. So the Malala Fund with Malala and the team is hoping to raise the voice of these children and urge the global community to invest in protecting, rehabilitating, and educating each child. And through its own resources is also investing in Syrian-led programs to rehabilitate children.
Shiza, are people telling you and Malala in these camps, specifically in Jordan, that they feel forgotten by the world? Is that something you've been hearing?
Yes, we have, and the crisis is really growing every day. And I don't think the international community and ordinary people are really understanding the scale of what's happening, and the fact that there are people suffering and children traumatized and seeing unspeakable things. So it's part of our responsibility to raise our voice and to talk about this issue, because it's the only way we're going to resolve it.
You know, I asked because Malala, so many kids look up to you, and it just so happens that one of my colleagues has a daughter who's 11. Her name is Ruby. And I said to her, you know, I'm going to be speaking with Malala tomorrow. She got so excited, she actually sent me a list of questions for you. She said, do you think that it is risky to go to Jordan to help the refugees? She's asking that question of you. Do you have concern with trips like this?
First of all, I would like to thank her, and I also want to thank every child and every girl and every boy who has sent me good wishes, and they have sent me teddy bears and good wish cards and everything. I'm so much thankful to everyone. Her question, that was it a risk to go to Jordan? I think it was not a risk for me, but it's a risk to the lives of these refugees. It's a risk to the life of these children that we ignore them. So we should not ignore them. And it's a risk to all of us if we ignore them, because if you do not stop terrorism, if you do not think of the future of these children, then the risk could spread and the whole world can be affected by it. So we should not think that we are far away from this country and we are safe. We should not think like that, because this can spread. And when children are treated with such violence, and when they see such a trauma, they see war, then they become violated themselves as well. And this is the way that they choose their future. So if we want a bright future, if we want to think of their peace and our peace, then we should protect them. And that's why I chose to come to Jordan to help these Syrian refugees.
Malala, you've been through so much. And as I mentioned before, and it bears mentioning again, such a hero to so many people. But people tend to forget, as sometimes I do, that you're just 16 years old. I mean, I could barely tie my shoelaces when I was 16 years old. Is it a lot to take on for you, this workload, these serious issues?
I have been through such situation that I could not go to school, and schools were blasted in our area. And I also became a refugee myself for 3 months in Swat in 2009. And I thought that I need someone to speak for me, and the people of Swat needed someone to speak for them. And at that time we spoke for ourselves. But now when I think of these children, I can feel what they would be feeling now and what they are suffering through. So that's why I think that it's our responsibility to protect these children. And I think I am 16, but I still am like quite like a 16-year-old girl at home. So like fighting with brothers, like using the normal kind of tricks with brothers, having fun with them and talking to them and fighting with them, of course. And I also listen to music sometimes. So I am 16-year-old in some ways, but I think doing work for these Syrian refugees or other children who are deprived of education, I just think of it as my responsibility, and I want to continue it.
Well, you're an inspiration to us all. Malala Yousafzai and Shiza Shahid, who's the head of the Malala Fund and one of your friends. Thanks so much to both of you for joining us, and best of luck on your future ventures, helping others. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.